Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to rebuild a corrupted user profile in Windows 11. A Windows profile rebuild is a common procedure used by desktop support technicians and system administrators when profile-related troubleshooting has failed. Some examples of issues that may indicate a profile corruption include 1. Outlook repeatedly prompting for credentials. You've checked an Active Directory, the user account is not locked, their password has not expired, the user may have already reset their password and they're 100% sure their password is accurate, or you may even walk the user through resetting their password again. And regardless of all those steps, when you launch Outlook, the user is still prompted for credentials. 2. Outlook stuck on trying to connect. The user launches Outlook, and within the Outlook window at the bottom, it doesn't say connected to Microsoft Exchange, it shows trying to connect. You've confirmed that their internet is stable, they're connected to their internet, whether they're in the office, working off Ethernet connection, or the company's Wi-Fi, or whether they're working remote, connected to their Wi-Fi, and working off the company's VPN. When they launch Outlook, it's instead of showing connected to Microsoft Exchange, it shows trying to connect. 3. Outlook errors affecting only one user. So we have a user, and we've already checked there isn't an outage in the company where every user is receiving an Outlook error, but this one specific user, when they launch Outlook, they continue to get the same error. You've done a mail profile rebuild, and it hasn't changed anything. You're still getting the same error. 4. File Explorer failing to load. So most know what File Explorer is, and some may not. But File Explorer normally is on the taskbar, this yellow folder. This is your File Explorer. And then also you may have a user that may just type it in the search, and then it will appear. Windows search not loading. So the Windows search is located here in the bottom left-hand corner next to the Start menu. When most users, they will click within the search and just type in various things within search. And if you have a corrupted file, sometimes this may be frozen or it's not recognizing any type of movement. Or maybe the Start menu is unresponsive, or user settings failing to load correctly. Any type of errors affecting just one Windows profile. Just a few things that you're dealing with the corrupted file. You may have a user's name, they get married and they have a username change. And when they log into their computer, their profile is still under their previous name. And they may have issues accessing certain files or applications. And another example is Microsoft 365 applications behaving incorrectly for a single user. There's various troubleshooting you can do for Microsoft 365 applications. Of course, if you're in the work environment, some companies use Software Center, where you can go into Software Center and just uninstall Microsoft 365 and reinstall it. And then you can see if that fixes your issues with the Microsoft 365 applications. And then also some other troubleshooting steps is going to programs and features. And you can just scroll down to Microsoft 365 in the work environment and then click on Modify. And then you can do a quick repair. And after the repair, I would recommend doing a restart, and you can see if that improves any issues with the Microsoft 365 applications. If that does not fix your issue, then you may have a corrupt Windows profile. So, those are just a few examples of some things that can happen in a work environment dealing with corrupted files. So, before performing a Windows profile rebuild, always verify that the issue is isolated to the user's Windows profile and that standard troubleshooting has already been attempted. You also want to verify that the user's important files are backed up through the OneDrive or on the server or your department or whatever backup method your company uses. So let's get started. Let's just say you're remoted into a user's computer, okay? We know we have a situation where we have a corrupted file or corrupt profile. So the first thing you want to do is sign out the user. That's step one. Have the user save all their work, and of course you want to back up everything and then completely sign them out of Windows. And you want to do this because you do not want the affected profile actively loaded during the rebuild process. You want to log in with your admin account at work. Once you're logged in, you want to open up Regedit. So this is Regedit. Go to Search, type in Regedit, and click on the Registry Editor. And then click Yes. Again, step 3, you want to make sure you back up user data before making any changes in the Regedit. Verify that important user data has been backed up. Common items to protect would be like your desktop, documents, downloads, pictures if needed, Edge favorites. Well, actually, Edge will sync their favorites once they log into it. But with Chrome, you definitely want to back up the Chrome bookmarks. And, most work environments use OneDrive, and they normally have all the users save all their pertinent files to OneDrive. So I would definitely back up their files to OneDrive. And when you're within OneDrive, you want to, let me show you a step here. So this is the OneDrive. Let's pretend this is their OneDrive at work. You want to right click, go to Settings, go to, it will sync, it's going to be on Sync and Backup, and click on Manage Backup. And then you want to make sure you have this enabled for documents, desktop, pictures if they need that. Definitely the desktop and documents. This will sync everything to their OneDrive. So if OneDrive is working correctly, verify their desktop documents and pictures have synchronized successfully. If OneDrive is unavailable or not syncing, copy the user's files to the server or for your IT department. Step 5, rename the user's SID key in Registry Editor. Let's go ahead and launch Regedit. So we're going to navigate to the local machine and then software, and then Microsoft, and then Windows NT, current version, with an expand current version, and then we're looking for profile list. So under profile list, let's expand this out. We want to, under the profile list, locate the SIB associated with the affected user. To identify the correct SIB key, review the profile image path, value, and locate the entry point of a user's profile folder. So let's just say that we have a user called, and the keys that we're looking for are not the short keys but the longer keys here. So let's go to this one. We're looking for Leo Wellington. And there we go. How do we know this is Leo Wellington? If you want to look at the profile image path. If you look at this section here, it says Leo Wellington. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to right-click the SID key. Now, the SID key is this section, not this, okay? So we're going to right-click the folder for Leo Wellington under the profile list. I do right-click, and what I would recommend is to export it and save it. Okay, so I'm going to save this key. This is saved on the desktop, and I create a folder called Windows Profile Rebuild. And I guess I can just name it whatever. I'm going to say Leo Wellington SIB. We're going to save it. So some technicians might delete the key, but in this step, wouldn't recommend doing that. You can, but I'm going to just name this to .old. And then the next step, let's go ahead and close Reg Edits. And the next step is to navigate to T drive, users, and you want to look for Leo Wellington. Okay, and we're going to right-click Leo Wellington's folder. And then, and so we know this is a corrupt file, we're going to just say let's just say old. Of course, in a work environment, you may not, even if they get prompted for elevation, just any admin credential. Here we are. So now that we've done those two things, we've changed the SIB key in regedit, and we went to the user's profile on their C drive, and we put that old. So from here, I would recommend a restart. So let's go in and do a restart. Okay, so once you restart, and as you can see, it's creating it's created a new Windows profile for the user. So now Leo Wellington has logged into his laptop and he can now see his desktop. So it did take like 5 to 7 minutes for Windows to prepare the new user profile. So once the user gets logged in, just go ahead and restore all their files under the new profile. And also, just verify that the original issue has been resolved and test any applications that were affected. So that is how you rebuild a corrupted Windows 11 user profile in a corporate environment. While profile rebuilds should not be the first troubleshooting step, they can often resolve persistent user-specific issues that cannot be corrected through standard remediation methods. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.